Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Monday morning to you all. I hope you guys are doing well out there and certainly having yourselves a fantastic start to your day and a great start to your work week. I got you an update on what's going to happen weather-wise for today for your Monday. Not expecting a super active day as far as the weather, but there could be different areas that can see different types of weather today, whether you're just seeing a good old-fashioned heavy rain, some showers, some strong to severe storms, some tropical downpours. We'll get you all covered here in this video. We'll break it all down. And towards the end of the video, we'll give you an update on the tropics, but not going to get super detailed on that just because there's nothing out there that looks to be an immediate threat or anything like that. But we will give you an update on the tropics as we're still right in the middle of hurricane season, so we need to keep you guys covered out there. But we'll break it all down for you folks. Still a little bit low on energy just from being sick all weekend. I feel like I broke the sickness last night. I sweated really bad, which typically when you sweat and you break that fever, that typically means that you're at the end of it. So hopefully that is the case. But I'm feeling much better this morning and having a great start to the day. So thank y'all for the prayers, for well wishes, and just feeling better. It's much appreciated. And certainly, if you guys have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. And if you guys got anything that I can pray about or pray over, as always, please put it in the comments below so I can pray over it and so others can do so too. So let's get rolling this morning. Shouldn't be a super long video. Typically, these morning videos have been lasting, like 30 minutes? I don't think this video is going to last that long. But we got a little weak upper low that's spinning around. You can see on water vapor loop, the moisture sort of spinning around with this weak upper low. This will bring kind of a showery day up here for portions of the upper Midwest. And then we're waking up to some showers and storms across areas of Texas, down here in the white region, which indicates more moisture in the atmosphere, down here in areas of central and eastern Texas and Louisiana. We have kind of a weak low down here in the southern portions of the Gulf of Mexico. You can see a lot of white down here, which, like I said, indicates that high levels of moisture in the atmosphere. This will aid in a lot of shower and storm development here in Florida a little bit later this afternoon. And I really think that some of these could be strong to severe as they cross the Florida Peninsula a little bit later today. And then we got a big system that's going right into the Pacific Northwest. This will bring a lot of heavy rain from Northern California up the coastal regions of the Pacific Northwest. And definitely kind of an atmospheric river setup, if you will. And then we're dealing with a lot of lingering moisture from Ophelia up here in southern New England this morning. Nothing severe or anything like that, just a good old steady rain to kickstart your Monday morning up here. So that's what's going on. That'll be the main features we will speak on. There is that stalled frontal boundary, which is, it's not really stalled, it's moving somewhat, but it is moving very slow, I'll tell you that. But this will be kind of the driving mechanism for some showers and storms to reinitialize a little bit later today in Texas. Could be strong to severe. So I want to throw that in there too. As far as the radar and what's falling out there, like I said, you're definitely dealing with some strong to severe storms in areas of Texas. A big plume of heavy rain in eastern Texas. Some light to moderate rain at times in Louisiana. Some areas are seeing heavy rain. Some of this is beginning to ooze in to around the Jackson, Mississippi area or just north of it. And we just got an area of light to moderate rain, maybe at times heavy rain in southern New England. You guys just continue to see a lot of rain up here, and this morning is definitely no different. Then we got this weak upper low, and like I said, you know, it's got a lot of showers and heavy rain sort of associated with it. This will continue to really drive the weather up here today, and we'll continue to spin around. You'll actually have some showers that kind of spin around this way and kind of maybe come through areas of Iowa, maybe northern Iowa a little bit later today. And then we got a lot of rain moving into the Pacific Northwest, like I said, from that big old upper trough that's really digging out over the Pacific Ocean, but will continue to move and take over most of the western U.S. here in the coming days. As far as severe weather, not a ton to speak on. We got a level 1 out of 5 risk of severe weather down here in South Texas with that cold front kind of draped across the state. This does include a very small section of southwest Louisiana, but could see some strong severe storms today down here in this region. And then in Florida, including Orlando, pretty much central sections of Florida could see some strong to severe storms today. But definitely nowhere seeing really a high-end big deal of severe weather today. It's definitely not going to be super active compared to the last few days that we've seen. The excessive rainfall outlook could definitely see some more rain added on to the rain you've already seen up here. So you do have that slight risk of excessive rainfall. Some flash flooding could occur in this region. You got at least a 15% risk of flash flood guidance being met up here in the yellow area. Areas of Wisconsin, extreme southeast portions of Minnesota, and extreme northeast sections of Iowa could see, appreciable amount of rain today. So definitely be aware of any kind of flash flooding, but I don't think that anywhere today is going to get a huge threat for flash flooding or anything like that. Watches and warnings, dense fog advisories up here for the northern portion of the country, including areas of the Dakotas and Minnesota. And then you got dense fog advisories up here in portions, down here for portions of southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas, eastern sections of Oklahoma. Some flood watches up for northern California, and then southwest sections of Oregon with all this rain really pushing in. We'll talk more on that here in a second. But as far as what's going to fall rainfall today here in the southeast, the big story is, I would say, is Florida. I wouldn't even say it's a big story. It's just, as far as the southeast region today, this will be the most active area of Florida, and then areas of Louisiana, maybe even Mississippi. As you can tell, this is around 5 to 6 p.m. today. You got a lot of shower and storm activity over areas of Florida, and then over areas of southern Louisiana. Even some storms down here in southern sections of Mississippi. And these will just kind of meander through all these areas throughout the day. And we'll go on and get a closer look at Louisiana and Mississippi. As you can tell, this is around 2 p.m. We're already getting more downpours firing up down here. And basically the entire southern half of Louisiana, southern sections of Mississippi. Some of these could produce a lot of heavy rainfall, frequent lightning, gusty winds, maybe some small hail, but probably not a big hail threat with this. But this is around 5 p.m. Lake Charles region could be dealing with some stronger or to maybe even severe storms in this region later today. And then, watch out around the Gulfport region later this evening. Could get some storms. Baton Rouge, New Orleans could see some downpours later this evening for sure. We make our way into Florida. And like I said, just a weak kind of tropical low down here right off the coastline of the Yucatan. Down here that's not shown on your screen, but this is actually helping to aid to provide a push of tropical rains down, up into Florida. So if you're in Tampa a little bit later today, you guys definitely could see some showers and storms early this afternoon. Could see it pop up around the eastern coastline of Florida, down here in the southern sections of Florida, and then could get some more robust shower and storm activity a little bit later this evening. This is around 6 to 7 p.m. Look like we have some pretty intense storms right up here, kind of close to the Gainesville area, well north of Orlando. And these could pack a punch. Gusty winds, frequent lightning, heavy rain, and definitely could get some flooding in some of these regions. So be careful with some of these storms today. They will kind of be moving in from the southwest. Then we'll move northeast from that direction. And we'll definitely give you guys a lot of rain in the state of Florida today if you just happen to be impacted by one of these storms. But as you can tell, even more rains begin to fire up here as we're getting into the overnight hours, and could have another round tomorrow morning moving into the state of Florida once again. Could be dealing with some heavy rains tomorrow morning in the panhandle of Florida. Moving up here to the northeast, you're dealing with that rain here in New York City, northern areas of New Jersey, Long Island, southern New York, southern areas of New York State, northeast Pennsylvania, just the entire southern New England region. This rain will continue throughout the early afternoon. I think by the time we get into this evening, I think most of the rain will clear out, but could get some more showers to kind of get going here in Michigan down to northern Ohio, western PA, West Virginia. You can see some showers later this evening. And these will kind of drift around. And as we're getting into the overnight hours, maybe an area of more organized showers gets going here in central PA, maybe Maryland. Just could be dealing with a lot of shower activity as we're waking up tomorrow morning in this section right here, the mid-Atlantic southern areas of the Northeast. So could be waking up to some downpours in kind of the Detroit, Michigan area, maybe down to Cleveland tomorrow morning. The south central U.S., we will watch to see how this area of energy behaves as it moves from the north to the south. I'd watch out Houston a little bit later today. These might miss you guys, but this little complex of storms right here, we want to watch out for these. A little bit closer look at it. Here they come, surging southward. Are they a little bit more east, a little bit more west? We're not sure. But I would watch out for the coastal regions of Texas a little bit later today. Trying to figure out exactly where this area of storms moves in will be difficult. But anywhere I would say from Corpus Christi, I like to say Corpus Crispy sometimes, all the way up to Houston, you guys have a risk of some strong to severe storms. And then southern sections of Texas, I would say south central areas of Texas, some of these storms could pack a punch, so be careful around San Antonio, Austin, Texas a little bit later today. These could produce a lot of heavy rainfall too, and then they will kind of dwindle away with the loss of daytime heating. But definitely some storms today in this region, I would say, of Texas. There's definitely going to be a risk of strong to severe storms kind of in this area right here of Texas today. So be mindful of that. A little bit further north up into the north central U.S., little pesky upper low will provide enough lift for a lot of shower activity. I don't think there's going to be a big deal. Some of these storms, some of this activity could be in the form of some storms. I'm having a hard time speaking this morning. I'm sorry, guys. But this upper low will continue to spin around up here. Minnesota will be dealing with some storms. I think the further south you get down there near kind of Minneapolis, I think you guys could see some storm action today. But we'll watch to see a little bit later this evening as these showers and storms kind of cluster together. This is around 10 p.m., 11 p.m.-ish. These will kind of cluster together and could provide a lot of heavy rain for this area right here of the upper Midwest and areas of the Midwest. So definitely be careful with any kind of flooding in this region. These will kind of spin around the same area. I mean, this is getting into tomorrow evening, and I will kind of do this on the fly for you folks. Look at how much rain is predicted for this region today. Let's look at the upper Midwest. Let's see. Y'all bear with me here. I meant to already have this pulled up. But this is rainfall between now and the next 24 hours. And like I said, you guys can see a lot of rain up here in kind of the eastern sections of Minnesota, and then western and southwestern portions of Wisconsin, southeast areas of Minnesota, and extreme northeast areas of Iowa. Over an inch and a half of rain could fall from this little upper low up here that's going to be spinning around. So just be aware of any flooding. Somebody can get 2 inches of rain today for sure. Out west, the only thing to speak on is this huge plume of moisture that's being slung into the Pacific Northwest. I mean, this is getting into about lunchtime. This is getting into this afternoon, this evening, and just rounds of showers and storms, and some very high elevation snow is likely into this region today. So you guys are already seeing it this morning. This will continue throughout the day. As far as how much rain could fall, there'll be pockets of 2 to 3 inches of rain. Down here in Northern California, you guys could see 2 to 3 inches of rain for sure. In extreme southwest sections of Oregon, 2 to 3 inches of rain is possible down here. But it looks like between now and the next 24 hours, most of the rain is going to fall in the western half of these states, of Washington State and Oregon, where a lot of moisture could fall. Temperatures out here today, just due to the clouds and the rainfall, temperatures will remain very chilly for late September standards up here in New York City, Long Island, up to Boston. Only highs in the 50s and low 60s. A warm day in the southeast, but a backdoor cold front will move through for the Carolinas here in the next couple of days and will cool you guys down. Definitely tropical air mass down here in Florida, which will aid in all those showers and storms today. Definitely pretty warm down here south of the cold front here in South Texas. Will probably be one of the hotter spots of the lower 48 today. And just with this upper low up here, you guys will remain coolish and just in the 60s. But once you get away from the influence of this upper low into the Midwest and the Mississippi Valley down to here, temperatures in the 80s, down in Missouri, Arkansas, maybe some 90s. Temperatures out west, definitely cooler than average here in the Pacific Northwest, but around average to maybe slightly above average right now for most of the rest of the western U.S., just because this upper trough is not really kind of taken over the region yet, which is expected to do so. Updates on the tropics out here. We still got this, which is an Invest. It's Invest 91L, has an 80% chance to develop within the next 7 days. Still watching this little area right here, but we're not expecting this to develop. But it is impacting the weather for Florida, kind of all the showers and storms associated with this little area of interest. It's not an Invest. If I just said that, I'm not sure if I did. But this area of interest is actually pumping a lot of moisture into Florida right now. Then we got Philippe, which is just a tropical storm, not expected to impact anybody. But if you look at this area of interest, the latest European model takes a while to develop this, but as we're getting into this weekend, finally develops this into Rena, which is our next named storm, the R name. And if it does, this could become Hurricane Rena, potentially, as we're getting into the first days of October. But it looks like it avoids the Caribbean islands and potentially heads on out to sea and doesn't bother a soul, which is good. You look at the EPS European Ensemble guidance here. This takes us through about, I think this takes us about 192 hours out, so about through, October 3rd. And it does have some members kind of drifting. Now this is combining the area. This is combining the Invest with Philippe, so some of these members are Philippe, but it does take some of the members pretty close to the Caribbean islands. But as of now, we're really thinking this is going to turn out to sea. But I'll continue to get you guys updates on this. But that's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for bearing with me. I definitely did not feel like I was my best in that video. But just trying to get back on track, trying to get my flow back going. And things like that. That's all I got. God bless all y'all. Have a great Monday, and I'll talk to you soon.